Greetings. It is time. Gather your chi. For we have much to paint. It is Friday, and we have fairies to paint. In a forest. Fuck me, it's cold. The tips of my fingers are slightly numb. The intro will help. We will gather chi. Fasten your seatbelts. Get out your fans. Fix your kimono. For it is time. It's that time of day where I descend into madness. Dissension. A place where apprehension is not welcome. Welcome. Get your bitches ready to be wet. I have my bitches. They're ready to be wetted. And I don't mean I'm going to stab the shit out of them for you British scumbags. But enough of British scumbags. We have fairies to paint. For it is time for PEINTEINGU. 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 It's PEINTEINGU. PEINTEINGU. Painting you. Painting me. It's PEINTEINGU. PEINTEINGU. Painting you. Painting me. It's PEINTEINGU. Painting you. Painting me. Paint with goo. It's PEINTEINGU. Yo. We have assembled the colors. Some white. We appear to be low on white. This is a common problem these days. A healthy injection of white is often needed in these modern situations of bureaucracy and deception. Can you smell it? The goo froze. Rumours, wafts of frowing goo. Smells like burnt sienna. Glorious. What? I have dropped the fan in the bitch bucket. The ban fan is now soaked. Here on PEINTEINGU we get bitches wet. But I've soaked this bitch. Twirl I too. Twirl my fan now. Things, can you see the drips? Can you see it dripping? That's how wet I got this bitch. It's so sucking wet. I couldn't have dropped it worse. It landed this end in like. Oh God. It's just one of those days. I shall place my fan over yonder. I'm I'm gonna gently unfurl it. Oh god. She's soaked it. I'll just leave that up there to dry. Any ranting done today will have to be done minus the ban fan. But that bitch is wet. Not bad for at least over 100, well over 100 streams at this stage, and not once have I dropped the fan in the big bucket. I haven't dropped anything actually in the big bucket of water placed between my feet. But today, on Friday, is it the 13th or 12th? It's the 12th. No, nearly. One day off. Being able to use an obscure holiday as an excuse for my unfortunate happenings. The burnt sienna. I literally always have to just pause and give this bitch a whiff. See, that just made me feel better. A pleasant scent has just reversed all of my negative emotions. How can you feel so sad? Smell the jasmine. Make you feel good. Right. We have fairies to paint. I think, Gaddafi's pretty, obviously I could put more detail on his pauldrons or epaulets or whatever the fuck you want to call them. I kind of need to finish off his suit. Put the medals on as well. We have much to paint on this painting, much to paint. Managed to figure out a way for myself to keep the excess paint dry on the palette. I'm a fucker for that. I hate wasting paint. I see a thick globule of paint of any colour that hasn't been touched by the brush yet, sitting on my palette, and I weep. I fucking weep. Griffu, welcome. Desmondu, welcome. Corberu, welcome. Apu, welcome. Welcome one and all to episode something. You'd think I'd have it just on the fucking tab somewhere. It's hilarious. It doesn't say it anywhere on my screen what episode this is. It goes in my email though. YouTube sends you a little, it's actually gas. YouTube sends me a little email being like, now live on your channel. You! As if it's FYI. Just letting you know. It appears you are live on your channel. Did you know? Would you like to know more? Episode 79, part 4. I don't want this one to be a 12-parter, but it's getting more interesting by the day. I didn't expect Gaddafi to show up, but his presence is welcome. Gaddafi's presence is a welcome. I breathe sirenry. Griffu's comments just make me laugh, seriously. I breathe sirens. Even the way it's spelled, I breathe. Why, all I do is, replace the L's with R's. That's all I do. Griff has, invented his own language called Japu and has just, taken that ball and ran with it, I fucking love it. Desmondu has Desmondu has the right idea. Or does he? Ribia have looked forward to this. Yeah, pretty much. Oh fuck, it's hilarious. It brings like part of me questions if I should actually get that much joy out of that. And then I'm just like, I'm being a fool. Of course. Because this is, after all, PEINTEINGU. Be the fool on PEINTEINGU. Oh god. I've recently become, like, speaking of little things that bring me way too much joy, for those of you not just listening to a painting stream and actually watching the painting stream, this has become one of my favourite things over the last, 48 hours. Allow me to descend to greater amplification of your view of the top knot is of the paramount importance to me here on PEINTEINGU. Occasionally, I will use my magic stool. The magic rock I sit upon allows me to descend. I just think it's hilarious the way my top knot is cut out most of the time. It's like, why even do your hair like that when it doesn't even fit on the screen? And it's like, because I do this. Now it's on screen. I suppose it will be, kind of handy when I'm doing some of the lower parts on the canvas, you know? She goes surprisingly low. I have to, stand up to fucking, Oh, I need a wider lens or some shit. I don't know, I want a full-on background to this bitch. I want, I need to get, I don't want a green screen. I just want stuff, you know? Fuck green screens. I just want stuff. Somebody get me a katana, even if it's a shitty one. A bit clumsy today. Oh, stop. I'm all over the place today. Thank fuck it's Friday. I'm gonna PEINTEINGU the fuck out of this for, as long as my chi will allow me to do so. And then I'm fucking, gonna sleep for, 12 hours. I'm fucking knackered. Defenderoo revers his rivetation abilities. I take great pride in my ability to revitate. Revitation! One of the many P's of painting. Sometimes I don't even, I'll think of something that literally just sounds fucking retarded and ridiculous. Not even a joke. Do you know what I mean? It's not, structured correctly at all. Do you know what I mean? Revitation. One of the many P's of painting. It's it doesn't begin with a P, you fucking bellend. I know! Just thought it'd be funny. Oh, sip. Because it's time to paint. Ha! Those, watching those guys play that just brings me so much joy. You should check out that, I'll drop the link to that video in the PEINTEINGU channel. And, just watch the guy who actually plays the taiko drum. And, by the end of it, it's what? It's just under 15 minutes long. And by the end of it, the guy playing the taiko drum is, glistening with sweat. And he's fucking jacked. He is jacked. He's not huge. But, he looks like he could well be, an extra in a Jet Li movie who's just, one of the Shaolin dudes who's just, kick-ass, And for 14 minutes straight, he's just been fucking baiting the shit out of this massive... The drum's bigger than him. Fucking tiny Asians in their massive drums. Right.
Join large-scale battles with military.
Join me in banishing you and your filth from my stream, you fucking peddler of filthy shit. I don't care how cool your tanks look. It's time to dance with some demons. Paint. Right. Fairies is on the agenda today. So let's get these bitches wet. When I move my taboo here. I need to move my taboo. It's in my way. Okay, which bitch will be first? I need to go over the fucking Playboy book again. Like, Gaddafi still needs a bit of work. I want to get the fairies on the painting though. Paint. I think I'm gonna do a firefight between like Mario and Luigi and some fairies. So like I'm gonna put some here, shooting at each other like over here, and then some here, shooting at people here or some shit like. We'll get there. First, I'll place my royal rag upon my royal knee and get this bitch wet. Which bitch first? If I'm doing the fairies, yeah, we'll go with this bitch. Paint. Dip the bitch head first into the bucket of water. Swirl her gently but firmly about the bucket. Then retreat your wrist gently. Halfway, not all the way, just partly. Enough for the rim of the bucket still to be in range of her forehead. Then beat her vigorously and use your royal rag to clean up all the evidence. I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Here on PEINTEINGU, bitch maintenance, proper bitch maintenance, is paramount. Things that are paramount are all one of the 12 P's of PEINTEINGU. Still haven't decided how many P's there are of PEINTEINGU. 12, 14, 9. We'll have a vote. I will be a merciful god and give you a say. Think about how powerful, like that idea would be as a superhero or a god. Like, what if I could just like paint something in midair? I don't even need a canvas or whatever. What if I could just paint something and like it just comes to life? You'd be fucked. Like, that'd be a hilarious little animation skit to do. It's just like the former god, now demigod, Defenderu of PEINTEINGU, takes on every known fucking like, and I just paint something like I paint like their fucking nemesis, like Superman is just like I just paint a cannon with a big chunk of kryptonite in it, like, and just like pull the string, like. Next, like. Paint. Right. Fairy number 1 is gonna go here. Give them little, like, leaf. I'll give them. I want them to stand out, so I think I'll give them like blue unitards or something because the rest of it's all green. I was gonna go with green, but I suppose I could just do like mental-looking fairies. They don't have to be like. What's that bitch called? Chat. What's that fucking cunt called? That fairy bitch. Fuck. Tinkerbell. Blank the fuck out of that one, like. Paint. I'll make them like pretty female looking, but not like very female looking. You know, still kind of like creature-esque. You know. This one's getting a rocket launcher. Paint, paint. Just imagine seeing a fairy just whip out a fucking, like, a fucking RPG, like, this little fairy floating in front of you, like, my god, such a magical creature. And the bitch just whips out an RPG, like, this horse size, like, do you know what I mean? Like, just lets the thing go, Jesus Christ! Like, what the fuck? Right. Just getting the basic, like, structure and placement, and then I'll go into detail. So this one's shooting a rocket over there. So I'll do a rocket going over there or some shit. And I'll do Mario here maybe. Mario's hat and fucking tiny little body in his shoes. Give him a fucking... Like, it looked like Mario. It's not going to look too much like Mario. I don't even want to go to, like, great lengths to accurately replicate, like, real shit, you know? I'll do, like, typical Asian knockoffs. It's like, is that Mario? No, it's not. No, it's his Japanese cousin. Mario! Right, put him there, give him like a fucking shotgun or some shit. Blasting the crap out of a fairy over here. Have our arms and legs going like that. Put our wings like going like this. It's fairicide. That's what's going down right now in Libya. Apart from the, degenerate transaction between the horrific troll and the local shopkeeper, there's the more macro cultural conflict of the fairies and colourful game characters. Tinkerbird! Ever watch Clanadonia? Even the old guy in the band is jacked from hitting drums. No, I've never. Clanadonia, what a name for a band. She took a dark turn after Peter Pan dumped her and became a mercenary. Oh, that'd be so fucking funny to do, like, really gritty offshoots of fucking, like, children's characters. Like, and then this happened, and then she became an assassin. Like, and then her grandmother died, so she decided to become a banker and financially ruin her enemies. Like, but fucking little squirts, just a little one, the tiniest of squirts, for the tiniest of froze. I kind of want to do Luigi here. Yeah, just like gotten like it's a fucking Mac 11 or something. Give them just like little stubby feet now, like make them look proper, like the pixelated versions of them, like, all squashed and shit. You're not going to see his arm really, so yeah, I'll just leave it like that. Has a very like hold still while I shoot upon you. I, I was like that's how elites fire fucking Mac 11s like instead of like this. Like sort of like where's the enemy over yonder, like you know. Like, that's how a really posh chap fires a fucking Uzi. Like this is you there, receive thine justice. Like,
This is not a water bottle.
this is a
It's an
fucking
ad
ad,
flavors
is what it
of
is,
water
and I
through
fucking
fairies
hate them.
and
That's
flavors.
what it is. You would. Oh shit. Oh shit. You made me misclick. You made me misclick, you fucking degenerate scum. How dare you? Paint. Right, so he's going to be clipping a fucking fairy out of the sky here. She's just getting riddled over. This one's this big, so I might actually want to make her a bit smaller. I suppose. Still works though. Part of me wants to put something that looks like Bowser in, but maybe not. I mean, we already have a big troll. Could just stick something that looks like Morpheus in for the crack. I still want to put something in this window as well. Even if it's just like a pot of flowers or something like that. I don't fucking know. Like. Painting goo 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 goo. You must always remember to regularly clean your bitches, or they will be very dirty bitches, very stiff and dirty bitches. Right. A bit white, and just the sprinkle of Prussian blue. Prussian blue. Painting goo goo goo. Prussian blue. We could go a bit more blue. Bit more blue? Oh yeah, a bit more blue. I'm actually gonna go purple. Because this awning is blue. I'll do a few different coloured ones. That's what I'll do. I'll mix things up. Right. This bitch is getting the blue one. I want to make them look magical, like, you know? Because they're fucking fairies, so, like... Don't know what to do to achieve that effect. Painting. Google. But I'm sure I'll figure something out. Of course, fairies also have the ability to wield firearms while in high heels. Paint. Get the wings on, actually. Could give them all slightly different wings. Right. One wing there. One wing there. There. Another one here. And another one going up over there. You'll actually see that one finish. And you're not going to see the other one in the back except for that bit, probably. This bitch's wings, I'll actually, like... Paint! I'll do this bitch's wings, like, all shot up. Because Luigi's after, like, fucking tearing the bitch apart with a Mach 11. Paint. This one's wings are going to be suffering from what is called concussive force. Paint. Because Mario just blew that bitch away with a shotgun. Okay. Paint. Paint wing. Fairy wing. Paintingu, goo. Paintingu, goo. Jingle goo. Let's get some details on the Mario Brothers. Yeah. Go a little bit paler, that tan colour, and then it should suffice for the facial colour of Luigi and Mario. Hand here, and then he's going to have another hand here. Pulling the trigger of the shotgun. And that's all I need to do there. And Luigi's going to be up here. Luigi's got a bigger schnoz. Paint. Luigi's hand is here. Paint. Paint. An angry piranha plant would be funny if you can work that in. On the shelf, that would, like, that's a good one. Those things are deadly looking. I always loved how they looked aesthetically. Like, the big lips on them and shit and all, like, they're deadly looking, like they're... I love the way Nintendo can, like... That's one of my favourite things to do. That's why, like, I made that fucking character Hugh and Gunduk. It's like, I love it when you can make something kind of intimidating, but, like, cute at the same time. Kind of like Stitch out of Lilo and Stitch. My hair is hilarious right now. My hair's getting so long that, like, the top knot is in full swing, but the rest of it is, like... I have, like, fucking... Hold on a sec. I I look like I can make myself look like a ginger fucking version of like Doc out of fucking Back to the Future. Like, Marty! The fucking Japs, Marty! Oh, fuck. I don't know. I have some luminous pink just sitting in front of me here. Like, this thing's just screaming at me. Hey, G. Goo goo. Painting, goo goo goo. Goo goo. Painting, goo goo goo. Those things are like in bright, well, not bright green, but like fairly bright green. Um, are they in? They're in a brown plant pot, and then their stalk is green, and then they've a red head and all. Yeah, I'm fucking forgetting what they look like now. No, I'm not looking it up. I'm just gonna do it from memory. I'm being like that. Yeah, give that bitch an RPG. I have green on me right now, so I'll do Luigi real quick. But that's a bit dark for him. Needs to be a little bit lighter. Just a little bit lighter. Yeah, that's more like it. I'll just give them black shoes so they stand out. There's a lot of browns and greens and stuff, so I want to be careful with my colour selection. Just a little bit so that stuff still pops nicely. Like the fairy wings, I think I'm gonna leave mainly white, but then put a bit of blue in them or pink maybe or some shit like maybe purple. But the wings should stand out. Maybe I'm just thinking about it too much. We established on the last stream that I probably should stop over analyzing things. Just be in the flow more. It's literally like the perfect red for both Mario and the plant. Yeah. Okay. Mix a bit of luminous pink in with this bitch. Oh, we get a nice lilac. Okay, so you're getting a lilac unit herd. say unitard. It's more like I gave them little fairy skirt things. Paint. What colour? Yeah, we do a yellow one. Yeah, that'll stand out loads up there, actually. Paint. Green bitch. Green fairy. Paint. Painting, goo. Painting, goo. Yeah. Painting, goo. Now I can go back in again, start putting more details in. Or I might take a break and do something about that potted, vicious plant Desmundu mentioned. But first, a sip. My throat is like the Sahara. Painting. Goo. Right. So I just had a thought there. I was like, to make them fucking like demonic looking fairies or something. I don't know. Stuff they got a rocket launcher and that one's. I'm gonna do that first actually, because I don't know how that's gonna work over Luigi's hat there. Right, we'll go with the gunmetal grey. That's what we need right now. Some good old gunmetal grey. Paint. Okay. Doesn't need to come out that far, but it needs to come out at least this far. See it there. Put it in front of the wing. And then obviously it goes behind her head. So then it'll come out here. Exhaust it back. Oh yeah. Oh, that was a nice burp. Paint. Burp. Bitch looks like she has a rocket, not a rocket launcher. Oh. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Okay. Painting, goo, 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 goo. That's gonna block Luigi. I'll just do I'll do a little rocket tip. Yeah. That's how we'll do it. Okay. Give Luigi his Uzi. Painting, goo, 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 goo. There's something about Uzis. Uzis are just real nice. Stabru! Welcome to PEINTEINGU. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Paint, paint. Painting. Goo goo. Paint, paint. Okie dokie. Okay. Painting. Goo goo. I'm gonna do the piranha plant. The piranha. What do you call it? The fucking Venus fly trap piranha thingy. The thing that eats you. And it's potted. Freezing goo. Yes, fuck it. My feet are in socks that are in big furry booties, and I have the heating on, and like my toes are cold. It's not good. Painting. Google. Do you know what? I'm gonna put the fucking piranha plant just coming out of the window. I'm not gonna put him in a pot. Which is probably what you meant. Just put him coming out of the window. Yeah, much better idea. Painting goo 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 goo. That kind of bright, grassy green, you know? I'll do. Yeah. Painting goo 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 goo. Such a beautiful green. I think I'm gonna lighten up this red a little bit. That didn't lighten it, that made it purple. Never mind. We'll just go straight in with bright red. Like I said, it's pretty much the perfect colour. But part of me wanted to layer it a bit, but we will not. Fate, as it seems, is not with a sense of irony. What was that thing? Fucking feed me, Seymour. What was that in again? A little shop of horrors or something? Is that what it's called? I hadn't seen that. Like, I only got shown that fucking like recently enough. Maybe like fucking 5 years ago or something. Like, one of my friends turned around to me and was like, "You've never seen that? Man, that thing's hilarious." Like, and we watched it and all, and I seen that like the puppet they have when your man goes into the basement, like, "Feed me, Seymour. Seymour, feed me." Like, I was like, that thing's deadly looking, and the voice and all. Like, apparently that was like fairly fucking famous. Like, you know, like I missed out on loads of stuff like that, like pop culture shit. Like, I just like didn't get involved in. Like, I wasn't a big fan of Jackass for years. Didn't even like fucking like wrestling, like fucking WWE and all that. Never got into it. Like, think there was actually a stage when I was really young where my dad didn't let me watch that stuff as well. Because this will probably make you laugh. So one of the first games that I remember playing when I was quite young with my best friend at the time, I was probably like 4 or 5 years of age, and we loved Street Fighter and Tekken. But there's a very iconic move in Street Fighter where they do that really. It's quite a famous move in, like, I think it's karate or what's the other one? Judo, where like you grab your opponent about the shoulders and then like roll backwards and put your foot on their chest and like toss them over your head. And we were fucking around in the sitting room one day, and like he did that to me, and I went flying off the sofa, and I went head first into the door, that like the door of the sitting room. Like I smacked straight into it, and like the way I hit it was like it was open, and I smashed into it midair and closed it, and it like swung shut like. And like I was young and very bouncy and pliable, like, you know what I mean, and full of adrenaline. So I bounced right back up, like I landed upside down and all. Like, it's hilarious. And like I like vaguely remember being upside down for a second and shit, like. And I bounced right back up, and I was like, "Oh, that was so much fun! Like, do it again and all." That, like, I was like, I literally got up. I was like, "That was deadly!" Like, and my mother came running in because she heard the door slam, like, you know, shit falling over and all. Like, and my mom came in. She was like, "What are you doing? What's going on? Are you okay? Like, what happened?" Like, and like, my mate was like, "Oh, like, you know," and I told her what happened because he didn't want to get in trouble and stuff. Like, and I was like, "Right, no more wrestling. Like, no more fucking karate moves. Like, you're not allowed to do any of that." Oh, it was so fucking funny. Like, some of the shit that's happened to me randomly throughout my childhood was fucking gas. Like, in that same house, I only lived in that house till we were about 9, in a place called Clondalkin, which is funny enough, where like Wishy used to live at that age as well. So there's like, how mad of a sink is this? Like, you know, like people have been like, "Oh, you were like clearly fated to be together and shit." Like, we grew up on like the same road, but like didn't know each other when we were younger, and then met years later and realized that we actually like probably did know, like, knew of each other and had like met each other and lived near each other at a really young age, but just totally forgot about it because like we were never friends or hung out, like, or anything like that. Like, it was such a fucking hilarious conversation when we originally found out. She's like, "I grew up in Oatfield in Clondalkin." I was like, "Oatfield? I grew up in Wheatfield." Like, such a funny conversation. Like, it's like, "So you know the doctors that like around the corner?" Like, yeah, I went to that one. Like, it's like, it's crazy. Like, it's actually hilarious when we found out. Like, I've gotten that sense a few times with Wishy, where like we'd have a massive fight or something, like, and we'd be like talking about breaking up or some shit, like big fights. Like, sometimes we've horrible fights, you know, very emotionally charged fights. And there's moments where, like, you know, on the one hand you're like, "Fucking hate her, like, she's such a stupid bitch," and then just there'd come a moment where I'd be like, "But I love her." Like, I'm not like, not in a like, because I've been through the whole thing of like, she's a cheating scumbag bitch, but I love her. Like, I've been there. Like, I've been there, worn that t-shirt and shit. Like, you know, like, I was quite the romantic when I was younger. Like, very nerdy and autistic when it came to romance with females, because I was so used to being their friend that I didn't know how to approach romantic relationships for a while. I hit my stride in my teens, like most dudes. But I had that awkward preteen, or like 12, 13 years of age, where I was like, didn't know what to. I was fucking listening to metal and wearing like everything I wore was black. Like, do you know what I mean? I didn't dance. Do you know, I was one of those like those ghoulish fuckers with pasty white skin and spiky hair and a black t-shirt and like a fucking Corn or Slipknot wristband and shit, standing in the corner being like, I don't even like dancing. Why am I here? Like, everyone else is wearing the face off each other and like dancing and shit, listening to music and stuff, and I'm just like, this sucks. Like, I wasn't very sociable for like a little portion of my life. Like, such a funny thing. Like, which, and it, again, it's hilarious because then I end up with Wishy, and like Wishy's a fucking like, she loves going out. She loves being fucking, like the buzz and like gossip and like typical female, like, do you know what I mean? Like going out, dancing, drinking, all that shit. Like very, very typical Irish female. And it's just like, it's hilarious how many fucking things ended up working out. Whereas like, that's the last thing I would have gone for most of my teenage years, I wanted a pure grungy bitch, them goth looking chicks. The leather and the fishnets and shit. And the dyed blood red hair, like, oh, it's like, look at, like, when I meditate and my mind goes back in time to like my memories and stuff, like, and I start like, I don't know if like this is just a weird thing that I do, or if it's like perhaps like an actual a mental practice that I just stumbled upon. But I do that every so often, where I like try to go back and take chronological snapshots of my life, just like photographs of moments in my mind, paint, and like put them in chronological order and try and get a sense of like the journey so far. I try and do like a Netflix recap of like previously on Alex. And it's like, and it's just all the shit, and then like to now. And I think that can be incredibly useful sometimes, because like there's been moments where I like happened recently actually, where I remembered something about my life long time ago that I'd totally forgotten about, like something I hadn't remembered in years. And it was something so random and benign. And it was the fact that I used to be really big into jigsaw puzzles. It just, we were watching this show called Manifest. It's alright. Like, it's very just like stick it on in the background and like, just vaguely pay attention. Like, it's okay. Like, it's not, I wouldn't call it a good show. Like, it's good. It's not great. I wouldn't call it a great show. It's a good show. We were watching that, and they were like putting this like multiple images together in an attempt to like figure out some kind of clue. And it just like randomly, like obviously not randomly, like influenced by the show and what I was seeing, but it just, the thought of a jigsaw from my past just entered my mind, and I just had this like almost, I wouldn't call it a revelation, more of just like an intriguing memory that I haven't like, because the way there's like a set of things that you remember quite often. Most people would have things in their life that like may have happened years ago, but like now and again they come up when talking to a family member, or like you'd be doing something or thinking about something and it reminds you of this shit like every so often. But then there's things that you haven't remembered for fucking God knows how long, and then you remember it and you're like, oh my holy fuck, like I got that feeling of like, what the fuck, like that's so crazy that I haven't, like, because it used to be quite a large portion of my life in a sense. I was big in the jigsaws. I had a lot of jigsaws. I had a 3D jigsaw of the Taj Mahal that I started doing with my mother when I was like really young, and we like did it once and put like a corner of it like a corner of the foundation or some shit together, and then like never took it out again, and like it just stayed in my wardrobe on a shelf for years. Just this bag of like styrofoam pieces with like a fucking sticker basically on them that created a 3D image of the Taj Mahal. Like, and there was a lot of things like that, like a jet, like it was like a fighter jet, like a fucking, I think it was a Hind D or some shit. No, that's a helicopter, isn't it? Yeah, Hind D's a helicopter. What was the fucking, some kind of Russian? Oh, it was a MiG. I think it was a Russian MiG that my dad and I went to put together one day, and we like sat down for like a couple of hours and started doing it. But then the same thing, we like did it once and never did it again. We never completed things. That was a big thing in my early life. It was like there was like a lot of things were just like the novelty of the moment and then no follow through. And it wasn't my end. I remember a few times turning around to my dad being like, "Do you want to do the jet this weekend? You know, we put the plane together." And him being like, "Oh, I can't do it this weekend." Or some shit like, you know. And the same with my ma. I'd turn around and be like, "Do you want to put the Taj Mahal together?" And be like, "Not right now." Like, but it was something I didn't want to do on my own. You know, I didn't want to sit there building this thing on my own. I wanted to build something with someone. You know, like it was weird. Like it was one of those things where like I liked sitting down with someone else and figuring something out. Do you know what show I really loved? Still really love. I like once in a blue moon. I'll go back and watch episodes of it. The Crystal Maze. And if you're like for the Americans, you probably don't know what it is because as far as I know, it was a British show. Um, but the Crystal Maze was fucking brilliant because it was like just a load of normal randomers put on this like game show where they have to go into rooms and like they're like wearing these like fucking prisoner style uniforms and all with different colors and numbers, and they're like broken up into teams or some shit, and then they have to do certain things individually. But some of the puzzles were really cool, and like they had this like theme tune and shit. Like, you know, it was a fucking great show. And I always thought like I'd love to do something like that. Like I'd love to do something like that on like a game show or some shit. Like because I just think they're hilarious. I think people's behavior in things like, you know, like I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. That's like one of the only pop culture things that I would actually sit down and watch with my ma. You know, like I never understood the idea of Big Brother. I was like, it's just a load of fucking D-listers in a house. You know, like fuck that. Like, but I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. I was like, oh, they're gonna make them eat like spiders and shit, like, and fucking do jungle tasks and balance on things and all. Like, yeah, like that's a bit of crack. Like fucking Fear Factor. Fear Factor was fucking hilarious. I never liked the eating challenges. I always thought the eating challenges were fucking disgusting. Some dude just chowing down on bull testicles or some shit, like, and you're just like, ah, there's nothing to like. That's not fear. That's not fear. You're not I'm not afraid to eat fucking bull balls. It disgusts me. It's a big fucking difference. Like the shit where they fucking put goggles on you and like strip you down to your underwear and put you in a fucking see-through plastic coffin and then fill it full of rats for like 10 minutes or some shit. Like that's the stuff where I was like, yeah, I'd do that. That's like wild. You know, like be crawling all over you and someone will be biting you and shit. And you just like have to like zone out and stay calm, try and get the longest time and all. I'd probably be really good at that stuff. Like, you know, I've always wanted to do stuff with water. You know, something where you could like potentially drown maybe for a minute before somebody like saved you. You know, because that's like some of the, like in my opinion, that's some of the scariest shit you could do. Is something where you have to go underwater with no gear, just hold your breath and go underwater through like tight spaces and tunnels and stuff, and like do something that requires you being able to see something and like do it manually and shit. Like everything's just like really highly stressful, really like, you know, poor visibility. You're holding your breath you're underwater. Like, it's claustrophobic. Like, even if you don't have claustrophobia, there's situations you can get into where you're like, well, this is unpleasant. Like, I wouldn't want to be here for like 6 hours. Like, I've always wanted to do shit like that. Fucking like high octane stuff. Now I'm doing high octane painting. Twaikerin Beru, welcome to paintingu. Paintingu, goo 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 goo. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Paintingu, goo 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 goo. Ein man Burrow. Sleepy House, Dick Fordu. Welcome to paintingu. Remember, if you would like to support paintingu, link is in description. Throw some pennies to the painter. While I read the chats. And for anyone wondering, yes, this is a fairy / Mario and Luigi firefight. Things have escalated in Libya, as they tend to. Wherever paintingu travels to, things tend to escalate. Oh, you have no idea how shy I was with Wishy, man. Like, I don't take offense that I just said man. I know it's a woman, but like, it's just speech. What the fuck did you eat, brother? Why, can you smell my belch from here? Stabaru has invested in smell-o-vision. The rest of us can only see and hear paintingu. Stabaru can smell paintingu. My older bro got one of those new Ultimate Arcade systems. So fun. Was playing Street Fighter 2 the other night. So fun. Yeah, there's something about the nostalgia of all the shit that's just really good. Like, for me, it kind of wears off after a while, though. Like, because there's a lot of mechanics in old games that are extremely frustrating. Grungy is my homeboy, but I'm with Otto Autistic. Oh, you guys are actually together, are you? And like, did you guys like meet in the bear community, or what's the crack? What's the story there? That's always a good bit of news, or like a good story to tell, is people meeting in the bear community, or were you already a thing before you started posting memes and watching Mad Men paint on the internet? Right? You all know what time it is. That silence can only mean one thing. It is time for Avingu. You are not allowed on my stream, you fucking ugly little bitch. She had, like, her makeup was really poorly done. The shine off her cheeks and forehead was disgusting. It's an epic system, can do pinball, has every system up to PlayStation 1, 25,000 games. Jesus Christ. How much did he pay for that? Everyone thinks they want a big-titted goth girlfriend until they get one. I know, there's like the ones that were like really hot to me when I was like 15, 16, when you're actually hanging around with them, they're just empty. Like, they're just fucking empty, like, and they have the weirdest like likes and dislikes and shit, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's so funny how, like, over the years I noticed people hang out with me and realize that I'm not like weird or like a freak or anything, like, because I just like I was seen as that for like loads of just like, you know, either unfortunate or random reasons, like because I tried to go to an Irish speaking school with no Irish. I had to like learn Irish for the first like 3 or 4 months or whatever, because I had like fucking, and then it's just being ginge, you know. People just have a prejudice against ginger people. Like, but there was a lot of factors that like made me kind of like socially, like, you know, a bit of a pariah and shit for a while. But then my house became kind of like a fucking hub of like people coming to drink and party and hang out and shit. And like people would sit down and talk to me and be like, dude, you're like one of the like soundest people I've ever met. Like, and I'd have a moment where I'd just be like, yeah. I think there's a correlation there with like, you know, that realization that Owen made there the other day, where he was like, oh, so you're not all like eating shit, you know? It's like, there's like, I've had that experience where like people just have a totally skewed reference for you as an individual, or you as a group, or you as a country, or you as a nation, or like whatever, like, you know. Like, I thought this, I was only talking to Wishy about this, like, I had this thought years ago, where I was like, so they say that one of the best war tactics is divide and conquer. Well, like, wouldn't it make sense then if there was someone going around actively, you know, making sure, you know, hint, hint, Jews, hint, hint, that, like, all the tribes, all the nations are like constantly infighting over bullshit, you know? And like, if you keep people stupid, keeping them divided and conquered is even easier, because they don't have the awareness or the intellect to be aware of a macro scenario or how large comprehensive systems work and stuff like that. So their world would just be this big. You know, like that's how you perpetuate things like, you know, gang wars and stuff like that. Is like, you have lads who are like 18 years of age and they've been shot 3 times and they've killed 4 dudes, and, you know, like, they're like strung out of it on fucking, you know, LSD combined with fucking cocaine, like angel dust or some shit, like, and their only thought processes are like revenge. Get more money, you know, get a woman, maybe have kids, like, do you know what I mean, depending on the, like, but it's like, their only frame of reference is like, those guys are my enemies, this is my territory, I have to take care of my territory, so I have to get a gun. Do you know what I mean? Like, things have gotten so bad in certain areas that people's aperture, or people's like frame of reference for life is like this, it's like, you know, it's like the eye of a needle. Whereas, like, my frame of reference for life, and I'd say a lot of the people in the bear community, and not just the bear community, other communities, our frame of reference for life is massive. We're aware that we live in a place that has, like, all these different cultures and all these different ideologies and all these different ways of thinking and modes of thinking and reasons for thinking certain things, and all these different animals and all these different properties that are around, whether it be physical or alchemical or spiritual, all these things, like, we're not just aware of this, like, small, you know, red versus blue, bad guy, good guy, you know, like, we're aware of all this vast amount of shades of grey. And even then, I feel so ignorant to certain things, you know? I definitely think it's intentional, though, you know? I don't think that it's just... This is just how things are, because that's how people have, like, evolved, like... I don't want to use the word evolve, because I don't believe in evolution in that sense, like, but, like, people have grown, have learned, have acquired habits of doing things and thinking in a certain way, like doing things a particular way and thinking in certain ways and shit. Like, so obviously it's going to be like really hard to break people out of certain modes of thinking and shit. You know, it's the whole thing of like, you give someone a red pill. Well, what good is it giving certain people a red pill? Because they'll just be like so overwhelmed by all the truth that they just snap. You know, like, or they get the wrong idea and they go down another rabbit hole and it's like way more negative than their life was before you told them some true shit. Like, it's funny how it goes for a lot of us. Like, a lot of us who like figure out some fundamental truths about life, and then you go down this journey, you know. And like where I am on my journey right now, and I'm only 32. I feel like a baby. And like I feel like by the time I am like 42, like that seems like such a long way away from me now. Do you know, like I used to hear this all the time. It's like, oh, when you get older, you know, the years start flying by and bleeding into each other, and you know, days turn into weeks and months. It's like I felt the opposite. Like, is it just me, or am I Benjamin buttoning the fuck out over here? I don't fucking know, but like, the Jordan Wars and shit like that seems like ages ago. But it was like just last year. You know, it wasn't even a full year ago yet or something, was it? Like, you know, it's only like 6 months ago or some shit. And like COVID, all of that seemed like it went on for ages, and then when it was gone, it seemed like it happened a long time ago. It's like, I totally understand where Owen's coming from, where it's like his perception of time is all over the place, because like I feel the same. I feel like a day can feel like way too short and I don't get enough done. But then there'll come a point where I'll look at the fucking date or some shit and I'll be like, Jesus Christ, it's only been 2 months. Feels like it's been a year. But in a good way. Like, I'm surprised. I'm like, holy fuck. I expected everything to just be like, you know, 4 times speed, and like before I know it, like I need a hip replacement. You know, just like some shit like that. Like, but that's not my experience so far. PEINTEINGU. 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 Ooh. How behind on the chat am I? You and Wishy got a good chemistry going. That's why I said you should go with the kids. But I get it. All in good time. Us bears with good women are truly blessed. Yeah, like I know full well like how blessed I am to like have her in my life. It doesn't stop me getting annoyed at how stupid she can be. Like I'll never not admit that. Like, do you know what I mean? Because I don't want to be like, you know, I find those guys who are like overly loving of their female to be a bit gay. Like, do you know, like she knows how much I love her. Do you know what I mean? But like, I'll never not give her shit for being like an annoying female when she's being an annoying female. But she'll never not stop telling me when I'm being a dickhead as far as she's concerned. Like, you know. Because like that's one of the reasons I think like it's actually one of the reasons I find her so adorable is like she has this like, you know, this air of like, you know, oh I've a well you know, a decent paying job and like, you know, my own car and like you know, I wanted to be a teacher, but like, you know, like she kind of like in a lot of ways is very like just totally normal functioning member of society. And then from my perspective, it's like I know what she's like, you know, around the house and like personality wise and behavior wise, and like what it's like to live with her and shit. Like, and she can be such a train wreck. Like, and I know Sleepy like relates to this. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like bitches turn around to my female and like bitches envy Wishy. Do you know what I mean? I know they do. Like females look at Wishy and are like, "Oh, I wish I had your life," you know, which is hilarious considering it's not like we have like anything amazing, you know. It's not like we're rich yet. But despite how much we've killed each other over the years, people do get that vibe off us. You get like because we give off that vibe. Like I would kill for her. Do you know what I mean? I would murder for her like in a heartbeat, like, and she knows it. But I know that like it's kind of one of those things where like you know, if we found ourselves in like a harrowing scenario, like, you know, some kind like a tiger comes out of nowhere or some shit, or like, you know, some guy with a gun or something, like I wouldn't try and stand in front of her and defend her. I would approach the threat and tell her to run. You know, I wouldn't have that mentality of like, I will defend my woman from danger, but actually like still have her in the dangerous scenario. I have that mentality of like, you know, the way they do it in the movies where it's like, I'll hold them off, you go. You know, like that kind of thing of like, I might kill this dude, you know what I mean? Or he might kill me. Get the fuck out of here. Like, none of this, like, stand there and watch and scream and hope while I try and deal with the situation. Because that's what most bitches do. Most bitches just stand there going like, ah! That's like, you get some women who are like able to deal with like violence and shit, like, or like a high octane threat scenario, like, and they'll keep their head. But like most women fold, you know. And we live in a time where most men, can't even fucking call them men, most males would fold in situations where you shouldn't fold, you know. And like that's why people have like respected me and like been my friend over the years, is because like I've made the right decision because I knew it was the right thing to do, you know. And I've done shit that other people think is a bit crazy and stuff, because like from my perspective I was like, it's not crazy, you people are crazy and shit. Like it's probably one of the things that drew Wishy to me, like. But fuck me, like trying to do the right thing all the time is like probably just as frustrating and stressful as like doing whatever the fuck you want to do, no matter how evil it is, like all the time. Like, you know, sure, we don't have to worry about lies, we don't have to remember stuff, we can just be in flow and be genuine and stuff like that. But man, people don't appreciate it enough. Really don't. Like, we live in a timeline where people like me are rare. And I'm not saying that from a point of view like, you know, oh, more people should be like me because I'm awesome. It's like, no, like, pick up the slack. Come on. Like, that's where I'm coming from. I'm coming from the point of view of like, I feel like I'm the only one who actually has any honor around here. Like, in my vicinity. Obviously, you people have honor. You're here. But, like, that's how I feel. Like, I feel like, the government and the population, like, I don't blame the government. I blame the people. What's that thing that Owen says? It's like, I don't blame the color or the thing. I blame the behavior. Like, that's what I'm like. It's, it's like, to quote Batman, like, fucking, like, it's not who I am on the inside, but it's what I do that defines me. Like, it's so true. Like, the things I've chosen to do over the years, like, for my friends or for my family or for myself, like, a lot of the time I got props for it, like, off some people, like, oh yeah, like, that's cool that you did that, or like, there's like some kind of like thread, some kind of synchronistic thread that, like, lets me know that, like, the universe is like, good job, nigga, But in between all those moments, man, you get so much shit for it. People hate you. People have the totally wrong idea about you because you're just willing to tell the truth and shit. Like you're willing to just stand there and take a hit, and like, people hate you for it, like, and it's because they're not willing to do it in their own life, and it sucks, but it's the truth. It's gold when you say, do you know what I mean? It's probably kind of weird how fast I can say it. It's like that, you know what I mean? Like, it's so quick. Like, it's like one of those things where, like, I don't know how often I've done it on stream, but I used to say fucking M. Like, do you know fucking M? Fucking, like, I used to do that all the time, to the point where Wishy actually used to point it out to me. That I would curse nearly, like, every sentence. Eating bull balls was the Toes dream team. Stop, yeah. It wouldn't surprise me at all to, like, see footage of Joe Rogan back in the day in the writer's room for Fear Factor, being like, yeah, and then we get them to eat, like, a bull dick or some shit, like. It wouldn't surprise me at all. When you have kids, time flips the switch to warp speed, especially when you look back. Yeah, I'd say that's a crazy one, actually, yeah, because, like, your kids grow up so fast, and then you look back, and, like, you'll remember them being small for long periods of time, but it's all over now, and now there's, like, this 18-year-old kid standing in front of you. It's mad, like. I have a feeling that, like, we're probably not, like, me and Wishy probably won't have kids for a couple of more years, but then I have a feeling that it'll be similar to, like, Owen and Amy, where, like, once we do start having kids, we'll probably, like, have a few kids. I don't know. I have fucking no clue how this is all going to end up going. I have no clue where it's, like, how quickly I'm going to get there or whatever like that, like, but, like, I'm just enjoying the ride, like, I know what I'm doing is working, and I just have to have faith and, like, keep working, Like, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the improvements. I'm seeing the, I'm seeing the improvements in my work. I'm seeing the, attention from people on the stream being like, PEINTEINGU is good and they enjoy it and all. Like, I love doing it. I think it's actually good for my mental health, to have, like, this kind of outlet and shit. Because, like, I do, like, think a lot of this stuff, like, while I'm just on my own listening to music, painting and stuff. So sometimes it can be really, like, it can be cathartic as fuck to just, like, let all this stuff go. I'd say it is incredibly cathartic in a lot of ways for Owen as well. Like, because, like, think about the amount of shit that chap knows and, like, is going on in his life, and the amount of stuff he sees and reads and hears, whether it's about him or what's going on in the realm and all that shit. Like, And he just gets on that laptop and just goes, right, boom. And then leaves, like, you know, like, and he said it before, it's like sometimes I lie down after the stream, like, I feel exactly like that. Sometimes after painting goo, I'm just like, holy shit. I just want to fucking have the smoke and lie down. But it is what it is. Like, I love it. Every time I look at, like, what I've done over the past, like, year or so, like, man, some of the painting goos are like, what the fuck? I want to try and make a Xenoboon t-shirt. I'm gonna try and cut out. I'm gonna try and get a really good high quality photo of the Xenoboon, like, ripping off with a fucking torn off elephant's head from like 5 painting goos ago or some shit, like, and I want to try and crop it out and I want to put it on a t-shirt and it's just gonna say Xenoboon. And like, nobody's probably gonna buy it, but I just really want to do it. Like, Desmond will buy it. Like, that'll probably be it, you know? But I don't care. I just want to make it, like, you know? And I think that's why this has worked for me so far, is because it's genuine. Like, I just want to make stuff that makes people laugh, that, like, people can look at and be like, wow, that's cool, you know? Like, the symmetrical I'm working on at the moment is actually, it's going quite well. It's going quite well. Should be finished soon, and then it'll be up for sale, and I'll put it on t-shirts and hoodies and shit. Lots to do. Lots to paint, lots to make. To make a chimp out of clay to play the piano. I might make a crow, depending on how much clay I have. I might make a crow. Still haven't decided on what I'm going to name the crow. The monkey's just going to be called Monkey, for obvious reasons. Just Monkey! Hey! I'm going to get far too much enjoyment out of that on so many levels. Just shouting at this inanimate monkey on my phone. Monkey! Hey! Get down! Oh, do you know what I should do? I should get a lot of audio recordings of just, like, monkey noises. I can have, like, a back and forth with the monkey now and again. Just, oh! And I'm just like, shut the fuck up, you! Relax! I'll get the piano fixed tomorrow. Fucking impatient little shit. Don't make me shave you again. Like, just random shit. Like, painting is going to look like a fucking episode of Muppets eventually. I'm just going to have all these, like, little props that are creatures that I just, like, schizophrenically talk to. Like, you see you! And it's just like a picture of a tiger. Like, got my eye on you. I suppose I could, you know. Never mind. Kids are a visual metric for the passage of time, too. It's really beautiful. It's going to be interesting to see how I acclimatise to being a father. I only say we are blessed because I see what my 40-something single male friends are going through. It's rough out there these days. Being out of the game for 18 years, very grateful. Yeah, like, I can't imagine what it'd be like to try and find a female right now. For someone like me, you know, like, I go on a date with some bitch and she's, like, real hot. But then I talk to her for 5 minutes and I'm just like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, So like I'd be like that now. I'd be with, like around a bitch for like 5 minutes, and I'd just be like, no, not you, not in a million years. Like, and it wouldn't matter how hot she is. Like there's always a time in a guy's life where you're like, yeah, but she's so hot though, you know. Like, but you get to the stage where you're like, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, it's not worth it. That's what, like, I'm fucking blessed with Wishy because she's cute. She's really sexy. She's funny as fuck. But she can just be a handful, you know? But, like, that's literally all I have to deal with. Is just her being, like, a woman, you know? Like, what's that? That's nothing, you know? Like, that's just being with a woman. That's literally those are the only stresses I have in my relationship now, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know what she would say, you know? Probably something along the lines of, he's a fucking dickhead. He's so mean to me. He said such mean things. Like, I just have a habit of being like, fucking cunt. Like, and then like female, I don't know. It's like nigger. It really is. For females, the word cunt is just like a fucking hot, red hot poker in the ass. They fucking hate it, like. And I know they do. And I love it. It's an excellent weapon in an argument. Will I put the teeth on it now or later? Yeah. I'll put the teeth on this big angry flower and then I'm going to call it a day.
Just like Mom taught us.
I've been holding in a piss for about 15 minutes now. And I'm fucking getting hungrier by the second. Finery, on Runch, and can enjoy seeing and hearing PEINTEINGU. You know I'll buy the first in line. You know I'll be the first in line for the Xeno Boom shirt. Yeah, I'm gonna, like, I got the idea there the other day when I was looking through the PEINTEINGUs again. And, like, the way I got the Xeno Boom, like, the way it's just, like, holding the elephant's torn head above, it's, like, it's actually brilliant looking. Like, it makes me laugh so much. Like, it's the perfect amount of, what the fuck is that? I just imagine standing in line in a shop or something, and it's just that on my chest, and it just says Xenoboon, and it's just the same on the back, you know? Like, and people just being like, Xenoboon? What the fuck is a Xenoboon? Like, and it's just this mad, look, this vicious thing, like. Oh, it's just so funny to me. I don't know how it's gonna work out yet though, because like if I just crop it out on the elephant's head, it's like you're not gonna see the elephant's body, so like I don't know if it'll still visually, like immediately when you look at it, I don't know if it'll work. But I find it hilarious. Just the idea of it, I find it hilarious. But anyway, let's give this bitch some teeth. It's all in the flick. Fuck that one up. I think we can do the tongue. Maybe even do some more. I still got time. I don't know what it is about that shade of green, but I just fucking love it. Just like that kind of like cartoony grass. Like, I suppose it's like the grass here is pretty fucking green. Like, you know, it's why we're called the Emerald Isle. It's such a lovely shade of green. Oh, get through. Oh, I didn't do phrase of the day today. Fuck. It's probably going to take me a few streams to get used to doing that. I like that though. I like phrase of the day. Today is phrase. Don't leave your sandals outside. I'd wear it to the gym to inspire those around me. Unleash the Xeno boon within you. Inside you are two boons. When did you add the predatory man-eating plant? It's like, moments ago, when you weren't looking. I inserted it with my magic painting abilities. Yo, you are a massive fucking pain in my rear, you fucking never-ending supply of frivolous shit bags. Fucking hate ads. But I do like giving them shit. You are belting out this PEINTEINGU in record time. New Year shit. Yeah, like, I want to fucking, like, get into the habit of, like, painting while I'm ranting, you know? But it's fucking hard, man. I get so into what I'm talking about that, like, I want to maintain focus on the conversation or whatever like that, or my line of thought and shit. But then at the same time, I don't want to neglect the painting. But then sometimes it's great that I talk for a while, because then when I go back, the shit's dry. So it's much easier to work with. Here on PEINTEINGU, one of the P's of PEINTEINGU is pedantic. Like, I don't even know if that like makes any sense. Can't remember what pedantic means. I was trying to think of a P word that sounded chaotic. I'm a professional piss taker. That's what I am. Let me give it a big purple tongue, or a big red tongue. No, yeah, I'll give it a big pinky purpley tongue. I'll go lilac and purple, or lilac and pink. Paint. 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 So, ladies and gentlemen, bears and bearettes, niggers and niggerettes, we will leave it there for today. This concludes today's painting good. I hope you enjoyed it, Goo. Is my fan still soaking wet? No, it's lovely and dry. Would you look at that? Just in time to bid you farewell. And to tell you to be good, be true, and be beautiful. And I will see you 3 p.m. Not 4:30, so I'm not going to say same time. 3 p.m. Monday on YouTube. If you would like to support Paintingu, link is in description. If you would like to buy my merchandise or any of my Paintingus, link also in description. If you would like to commission a painting or a doodle, DM me, leave it in the chat. Speak to me through many means of digital fuckery. And I shall see you soon. God bless. And may you have the bests of ends of week. Goodbye.